Most retirees are worried about running out of money, and that's a valid concern. But what if I told you the bigger risk for many Canadians is exactly the opposite? It's not overspending, it's underspending. That's right, too many retirees live well below their means out of fear or uncertainty or outdated beliefs about what retirement is supposed to look like. And here's the problem. The years you're the healthiest and most able to enjoy your retirement are the ones you're most likely to hold back on. The hesitation, those myths can cost you time, joy, and yes, even money. Let's talk about retirement spending myths that might quietly shape your decisions and to rethink them. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Danny Perro, Senior Investment Advisor at CG Wealth Management. Today, I want to challenge you on some of the biggest myths about spending in retirement. Misconceptions that could lead you to make financial decisions that limit your lifestyle, damage your long-term security, and leave opportunity on the table. Let's dive into the truth behind retirement spending. Myth number one, I'll naturally spend less in retirement. It's easy to assume that retirement means fewer expenses, so you're no longer commuting, buying work clothes, or eating lunch out 5 days a week. So the math should be simple, right? Not quite. Retirement isn't one long vacation. It's phases of life, and the early phase, that's often the most expensive. This is the go-go stage, when you're the healthiest, most active, and finally have time to enjoy the things you've put off for decades. Travel, hobbies, visiting family, renovating your home, maybe even helping the kids out financially. All of that adds up. In fact, many retirees find that their spending doesn't decrease right away. It actually increases. That's completely normal. The problem comes when your plan is based on outdated assumptions about expenses declining the moment you leave the workforce. Instead of assuming your expenses will shrink, the smarter move is to map out how they'll evolve over time and to plan for the lifestyle you actually want. Myth number two, I shouldn't touch my investments unless absolutely necessary. This one is deeply emotional. After working hard to save and grow a retirement portfolio, many people are afraid to touch it. They live off government benefits and pensions, letting their investments sit untouched like some kind of financial trophy. But here's the truth. If you're living an overly restricted lifestyle while sitting on a healthy investment portfolio, you're not securing your retirement. You're undercutting it. Your retirement savings are meant to be used. They're there to support the lifestyle you envision, whether that means travel, passions, or simply peace of mind. I often meet retirees who feel guilty about spending their own money, worried they'll be judged or they'll run out later. But a responsible withdrawal strategy built around your goals, tax considerations, and portfolio performance allows you to draw income sustainably. The real risk isn't using your money, it's not using it at all. You don't want to be 85 years old, sitting on a 7-figure portfolio, looking back, wondering why you didn't enjoy it while you could. Myth number three, inflation won't really affect me. Inflation doesn't always feel like a threat until you look back and realize how much your money used to buy and how little it buys today. Many retirees assume that because they're finished their major expenses, mortgages paid, kids moved out, inflation won't hit them as hard. But the reality is that long-term purchasing power erosion is one of the greatest threats to retirement income. Here's an example. Let's say you plan to spend $60,000 a year in retirement with a 3% inflation rate. You'll need over $80,000 in 10 years just to maintain the same lifestyle. In 20 years, that number will jump to $100,000. That's the silent cost of inflation. And here's the problem. Many retirees shift entirely to conservative investments, thinking preservation is the key. But being too conservative can mean your portfolio doesn't even keep up with inflation, effectively shrinking your wealth year by year. A well-designed retirement plan balances income, stability, and inflation protection. Without that, you risk watching your purchasing power quietly disappear, even if your account balances look the same. Myth number four, I only need to cover my lifestyle. Healthcare is free in Canada. Yes, Canada has a universal healthcare system, but no, that does not mean healthcare in retirement is covered. Here's what many people don't factor in. Dental care, prescription, medications not approved by provincial plans, physiotherapy, medical equipment, private home care, long-term care facilities. These aren't hypothetical costs, they're real. And for many retirees, they become significant in the later stages of life. A single private long-term care residence can cost anywhere from $3,000 to $8,000 per month, depending on the level of care. And unlike some of your regular living expenses, these costs are often unpredictable and urgent. Waiting until they appear is not a strategy, it's a gamble. The solution is to plan ahead. Whether it's setting aside healthcare contingency fund, incorporating insurance, or designing a flexible withdrawal strategy, accounting for healthcare costs now gives you options later. Myth number 5, a fixed monthly income is the safest route. It's a common belief. If your income retirement is predictable and consistent, you're secure. Set it and forget it. No surprises. Sounds great, right? But here's the problem. Life doesn't happen on a fixed schedule. Emergencies, opportunities, unexpected costs. Retirement doesn't come with a flatline budget. The roof leaks. A family member needs support. A once-in-a-lifetime trip comes up. The market shifts. Tax laws change. Locking yourself into a rigid monthly income might feel safe, but it can actually limit your flexibility and leave you unprepared for change. And when your plan can't adapt, your stress goes up. I've worked with retirees who were nervous to spend outside the lines of their monthly income, even when their portfolio had more than enough to cushion the support. That's not financial peace. That's financial pressure disguised as discipline. A smarter approach blends stability with flexibility. Yes, have a baseline level guaranteed and predictable income through pensions, CPP, or annuities if appropriate, but also ensure your plan includes fluid access to capital so you can respond to real life in real time. Retirement isn't about building a financial cage. It's about designing a structure that lets you move freely without fear. So let's flip the script. Retirement isn't about deprivation. It's about intention. It's about knowing what you want for your life and what it looks like, and building a plan that lets you live it fully, confidently, and without second guessing every dollar you spend. Truth is, avoiding these myths isn't just about protecting your money. It's about protecting your freedom to travel, to support your family, to say yes to things that matter to you. If you're nearing retirement or already there and you want to make sure your plan supports not just your survival, but your ideal lifestyle, then it might be time to get a second opinion. Let's make sure you're on the right track. Book a time with me using the link in the description below. We'll talk about your goals, your income, and how to turn your savings into a strategy that supports the life you actually want to live.